Hi everybody, Dale here again. Today we're going to start on these wheels, and the first thing you probably need to do is to soak all the nipples, because more than likely they're rusted, and especially I had a lot, these three here where the weights were, they're covered up also, so that you have a lot of tendency for them to rust in there. So I've had them soaking. I hope that they're soaked good enough where I'm not going to have any trouble getting them off. I like to start by putting them in the stand, the truing stand. It's just to get them loose, and then actually it seems better to lay it down on the table when you get ready to start taking them apart. But we're just going to, let's see here. I always like to find where the valve stem is, and I start there. Usually the writing or the stamping is on it right there. Got the wrong one out here, I guess. I can't believe it, they all broke loose, and right now I'm just finishing them up with the screwdriver. It's really, if you're going to even thinking about reusing your spokes, it's imperative that you soak them with penetrating oil. These have been soaking for a couple of days. And every time I walk by them, I just gave them another shot. So it worked real good in this case, because everything is coming right loose. Just about got them all loose now. Only had a couple that were a little tight getting off, but they finally gave it up. All right, I think that's it. There's the wheel. I just really don't think that a 125 enduro type machine really needs wheel weights. But Suzuki did it, Kawasaki did it. I don't ever recall any being on a Yamaha, but maybe they were. Now I'm just going to disassemble these and keep all the outside spokes and the inside spokes separate from each other. I'm going to replate these spokes. So that's my plan anyway. I've never done that before. I've always been able to get spokes, but they're really getting hard to find for these older bikes. You can get them a new set made from Buchanan, but they are, you know, a set of spokes are probably going to run you close to $80 to $100. And if you're trying to do it on the cheap, you're going to want to do it this way. Now we've got a conical hub here, so you're going to have some long and short inside and outside spokes. Got all the spokes out. Now we're going to take the bearings out. I like to use the blind bearing puller. Really works good. It just comes through, and you've got this little feature here on the end that flares out, and that hooks on the inside of the bearing, and when you release it you can just pull the bearing off. You're going to have a spacer in here. Makes pretty short work of it. All right, let's. I've got all my spokes in a tray here that I'm going to put in. First, it's going to go in the ultrasonic cleaner to degrease it. Same with the nipples. And then it will go into the deruster. Now the rim, the worst part of it is right here. A little bit of rust here at the bottom. That's probably where the wheel sat all the time. So in my opinion, for what I'm doing, that doesn't really warrant a new rim. I've got some, but I kind of reserve those for a lot worse than this. So I'll probably just put some deruster in the tub here and let this soak. I'll just spin it around from time to time to make sure, but really most of it is right here at the bottom. So that's what I'm going to do there. I've got the hub all cleaned up, and there was quite a bit of rust from its setting on the brake drum. So this and everything else except the bearings are going to go in the ultrasonic cleaner, and then for the spokes and the nipples, They will go in the deruster. Then we will do the recoating on these, the zinc coating. So we can go ahead and let's get this kind of put together here. Got my ultrasonic cleaner warming up. Goes down on that end. Goes there. And we got the front one to do yet. And that'll just soak overnight. And here we are, brute for punishment. We're getting ready to, we're doing it all over again. I've already measured my dimension. I've made a note of that. Doesn't take very long to tear them down. Not the same going back though. Takes quite a bit of time. I kind of enjoy doing it though. It's kind of therapeutic. Especially these. These are very simple to do. Just kind of got to pay attention to what you start with. How many spokes get crossed, and you've always got a little telltale sign of where the spokes were. Not so much on this one because it's these are painted, and on the rear one that I just sandblasted and put in the ultrasonic cleaner, very little of those marks left on it. But it's not a big deal. You just start at one place and keep going. And again, we just keep our inside and our outside spokes separated. Really doesn't matter. You can kind of tell anyway when you put them in. They're all going to go into the cleaner and the deruster, so they'll be all mixed up by the time I get ready to start again. Yeah, I've got to get the seal out of that one. All right, got the front one all disassembled, and I've got most of it cleaned up, some of it already in the ultrasonic cleaner. I am going to keep these front spokes separate from the rear, so I'm going to tie them up with some wire. It'll be easy enough to figure it out, but why figure it out if you don't have to, right? And get all our spokes, put in another little screen bag here. And we'll get those into the ultrasonic cleaner and then into the de-rusting agent. And we've already got the other rim up here. There's very little rust on it at all, but I'm going to stick it in there anyway because there's a little bit of spotting inside. So as I spin them around, it'll just clean it all up and get the bearings and everything out. Well, that one last bearing was a booger. It took me I had to get the hammer, but we got it out. All right then. Next time you see these wheels, hopefully we'll be putting them together. So subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and thanks for going along on the ride.